Then Anakin had his first training with Yoda. Yoda warned Anakin about the dark side.
But beware of the dark side. Anger, fear, aggression. The dark side of the Force are they. Easily they flow, quick to join you in a fight. If once you start down the dark path, forever will it dominate your destiny, consume you it will.
Anakin then asked how Yoda knows so much about the dark side. Yoda implied that he or someone he cared might have fallen to the dark side before. Anakin got another vision when he was meditating, getting stronger off Padme being captured by the separatists. Sensing Anakin's intuition, Yoda implied he should trust his feelings. Anakin brought C-3PO, now covered in silver platings, and R2 with him, using R2 to steal a Republic landing craft and took off. Back in the Jedi library, Obi-Wan got some data files about Shmi Skywalker. After Obi-Wan came to pick up his apprentice in the meditation chamber, he realized Anakin left. Obi-Wan scrambled to the Jedi Starship hangar and followed him into space. He was very frustrated with Anakin not following his strict order.
I hate it when he does that.
There were memorial monument statues to the fallen during the previous separatist invasion. After entering the Naboo royal palace, Anakin explained the situation to Padme that she will be attacked tonight. To his surprise, Obi-Wan arrived there too, just to give Anakin a lecture. To add in sex appeal like George Lucas did in Return of the Jedi, you can make Padme half dressed up in Naboo pilot overalls. She was about to perform a spaceship stunt until a few hours from now for the Naboo celebration of fending off separatists. Suddenly, the lobby of Padme's palace was under attack by a sniper rifle, which was easily deflected by Obi-Wan. His Jedi sight showed the bounty hunter who was the attacker. Obi-Wan gave Anakin strict orders to protect Padme and get her to a safe destination, because there might be more assassins. Seeing that his plans to kill the Jedi Protectors had failed, the bounty hunter left the area. Obi-Wan used Padme's speeders to chase down the bounty hunter. More assassin droids arrived there to capture Padme, but were destroyed by Anakin. And what a surprise! The assassin was Boba Fett, for all you fangasms, and not Jango Fett. This will be explained later. Fett returned to his slave one. Obi-Wan engaged Fett in a fight. Fett was as skilled as any warrior at the top of his game. Since Obi-Wan took out his lightsaber immediately, we know Boba Fett is a huge threat, and Obi-Wan might not win against him. And so Boba was able to escape with a narrow victory against Obi-Wan by surprising him with special gadgets, and Obi-Wan threw a tracking device on the hull as the ship left. Obi-Wan ran onto his Jedi starfighter and followed him into space. On their way towards the Republic landing craft, R2 was damaged by the separatists. Anakin took a laser bolt for Padme. It was bad, but he healed later. Padme was surprised by his noble, altruistic act. Then, before they got onto the Republic shuttle, they were encountered by Asajj Ventress. Anakin and Ventress dueled. The apprentice versus apprentice showdown was almost equally tied, but Ventress was more skilled in the saber fight. Ventress tried to tempt Anakin to the dark side, but with no luck. Anakin was only able to use his brute force, and he nearly defeated Ventress. He jumped onto the craft when Padme took off and they escaped. After the spar with Anakin, Ventress realized Anakin was the chosen one, and she'll be able to find him again through the use of the Force. The two got onto the ship and were hunted by separatist ships. The droids had begun landing their crafts for a full-scale invasion. Their shields were taken down by incoming fighters. Padme realized the ship's life support power couplings had been damaged. Anakin rewired the hyperdrive, sensor array, communications relay systems to the life support system, since it takes up a lot of energy. The neighboring planets tried to assist Naboo, but resistance was futile, as they were no match against a huge invasion force. The Separatists had collected and built a powerful army for war. They had learned their mistake from war on Naboo a few years back. Padme wanted to stay and help her people, but Anakin refused, stating that the Separatists are targeting her, and he won't give her to them. She's an important piece of heritage to the Naboo's history and too important to fight. As it turns out, Padme revealed she snuck onto an N1 bomber during the invasion. She wasn't authorized. Padme tried to maneuver the ship and enter into a region with a lot of old Republic war mines. Anakin at first was baffled by this, but then he shoved Padme aside, claiming his Force sensitivity can maneuver safely, and told her to fix the ship with C-3PO. With all these disturbances, Anakin was unable to fix R2, and he was on his own trying to fly the ships away from the bombs and mines. Padme took forever to fix R2 with C-3PO. You can add in a joke about Padme's faith on the Force, not to the previous film with her Han Solo atheist approach. Anakin asked, didn't Padme believe the Force now? Padme just replies, she does believe the Force, but she doesn't believe in Anakin. Anakin used a lot of his Force power to maneuver the ship. Locating enemies and several droids were destroyed by him through through the Force by flinging mines at. With all the stress, Anakin unleashed his anger and it amplified his strength. Anakin turned to Evis momentarily. Somehow, Padme was infatuated with both those personalities, the Serenities and the Rage, the merciful and the merciless. In deep space, Maul was contacted by Sidious. The two talked about the tremors of the Force. The Chosen One's power is increasing exponentially. If they are able to find the Chosen One and convert him to the dark side, he will be extremely useful. The Chosen One could bring balance to the Force for the Sith and be used to destroy the Jedi. We were reminded that bringing balance to the Force is purifying it by either all of the galaxy's Force users are Jedis or Siths. Whenever one or the other coexists, it's unbalanced. With the Force unbalanced, great upset shall reign across nature. Maul also said the bounty hunter was able to lure the Chosen One into the trap. Boba Fett thought he was only sent to kidnap the Queen of Naboo. As Maul predicted and planned, he failed to capture her since he was unprepared for the Chosen One, who was involved. He tried to take out her Jedi bodyguards but was unsuccessful. Maul ordered Fett to return to the temporary separatist base of operations to lure the Republic to go there. Once the Republic see the might of the separatists, we'll also see the ways of the Sith. Maul had trained his own apprentice, Ventress, who was leading the entire invasion on Naboo. Grievous is also trained by Maul, but in a way that Grievous is more like a Jedi hunter rather than a true Sith warrior. The Sith are really similar to the Jedi, except the Sith are evil and they climb their ranks through murderous ambition, while Jedi gain their ranks through honor and trust. Ventress was mentioned trying to kill Maul a few times to take his place as the title Sith Apprentice. We see the Sith hierarchy. There will be two Sith Lords, the Sith Master and the Sith Apprentice. Then there will be Sith warriors who follow their orders. In this example, Darth Sidious is the Sith Master, Darth Maul is the Sith Apprentice, while Asajj Ventress is the Sith Warrior. Maul also revealed that Padme is the last of her royal family. Capturing her will be like grabbing Naboo by the balls. The pattern was capture an important political figure and force the planet to submit to the separatists. Sidious complimented on Maul and told him to use his powers of the dark side to cloud the area and the future so no light side Jedi could sense the area. Only the Chosen One can sense it. Maul asked who the Chosen One was. Sidious mysteriously replied that Maul will know once he faces him. Meanwhile, in hyperspace, on the pursuit of Boba Fett, Obi-Wan looked at Shmi's files. She was a young Padawan who was about to be knighted despite her young age. According to her journal log, Shmi felt a disturbance in the Force, which was extremely strong within the dark side. The Council told her to ignore the dark side anomaly because they are common after the Great Sith War. Shmi refused to follow the orders. In her log, she had successfully located it, but was badly wounded. She claimed that she was infected by a strong dark side deity that was originally sealed inside a Sith locket. It drained her powers in the Force, and at the same time felt another life growing within her. However, no Sith Lords were present there. That was her last journal log. By the end of her data file, it stated the rest of the Jedi Order sent a scout party in search of her in the area. They found her ship on Tatooine. Her link in the Force was consumed by the dark side. She was simply wiped out of the Jedi radar. Many Jedi Masters believed that she was dead. Thus, since the death of this young Padawan that was almost knighted and was killed because of lack of maturity, reckless actions, the Jedi had decided to ensure Padawan will reach knighthood after adulthood. From his master level, Obi-Wan recognized the attack in Shmi's description and realized it was a legendary evil Sith dark arts done by someone who had been experienced decades after being a Sith. The attack was a Force bomb. It duplicates the powers of the Force being and causes the Force to implode within the victim, turning life energy into poison, but producing another life was unheard of. Obi-Wan knew there was a Padawan about to be knighted at a young age, but he didn't know she was another Jedi as reckless as Anakin. Obi-Wan then joked to R4 that Shmi Skywalker could have been Anakin's mother. Obi-Wan finally chased Boba Fett to Geonosis. The Jedi and the bounty hunter had a fight in the Geonosis ring, but Fett, who was the better pilot, had the upper hand.
Blast! This is why I hate flying!
Obi-Wan's ship was torn apart, but he was able to fake his death by escaping inside a mini escape pod launched from inside the Jedi Starfighter. There he landed on Geonosis and continued his recon mission. Back in the space minefield, after using a huge amount of force evading the mines, Avis faded away and Anakin returned. He knew what happened, but only bits and pieces of his memory. Avis was trying to take over. Anakin and Padme were still in the minefield trying to figure a way out. R2 was finally fixed, and then it fixed life support systems. They continued to hide within the minefield. Anakin meditated. Padme and R2 were fixing the ship, with 3PO clumsily bumbling around and speaking in technological gibberish. Padme had successfully evaded the fleet and hid in Palace Massa base. The ship refueled and the ship was fixed. As Anakin and Padme spent more time together, the two fell in love. But Anakin said that he's a Jedi and he couldn't fall in love with her. Padme said they could just keep it a secret. He sort of explained that Jedi can't be in a relationship or marriage because the attachment will lead to the dark side. Anakin initially refuses.
They do decide to give in to their emotions, and ultimately they will suffer all the consequences.
It was implied they married in a chapel. They continued to hide among the asteroids and mines in the Palace Massa area. Anakin meditated on Obi-Wan, wondering about his safety, and he sensed Obi-Wan's pain in the future. Anakin felt Qui-Gon's spirit through the Force telling him not to go there, but he ignored it. Anakin wanted Padme to stay on Palace Massa, but Padme wanted to be along with him to rescue Obi-Wan as well. However, a separatist ship had found them by pure luck. They were forced to get on the ship and fly away from the base. With Anakin's brash attitude, the two had a one-on-one personal dogfight. Anakin thought that ship just got lost. Padme also told Anakin that he had to take it down before it tells on them.
Sure is leaving in a big hurry. If they identify us, we're in big trouble.
Not if I can help it.
Guess what? That ship was piloted by Asajj Ventress, who successfully tracked down the Chosen One. After a chase through the minefield, Ventress led them into a separatist trap, with lots of frigates. After getting caught in the tractor beam, Ventress was contacted by Maul for another task. It was to escort the separatist leader to their current temporary base, on Geonosis. In here we see that Maul is like George Washington during the American Revolution in this war, or Jefferson Davis for the American viewers out there. He didn't have time to get on his little starship to do tasks this time. He had to oversee the entire Clone War. Originally, Anakin wanted to turn himself in while Padme and the droids hide in a huge safe. He will then pretend to be a confused farmer and hide his lightsaber, since virtually everyone in the lower class wears robes in the galaxy. But if Anakin was just a lower class citizen, with no bargaining chip in this pending war, he'd be surely killed. Thus, Padme gave Anakin a set of Naboo pilot gear. She was about to pass a Naboo Royal Fleet commander for the Naboo festival earlier. It was to hide the fact that he's a Jedi, otherwise they'll kill him or double the security. Anakin hid his lightsaber in R2's compartment. Their plan was to steal a transport on the separatist frigate. When everyone was gone off board, the self-destruct countdown blew up the Republic landing craft. Anakin used this moment to escape the guards. In the inspection area, after scanning the strong box where the metallic surface showed the interior of the face was empty, so the droids decided to incinerate the safe and recycle it.
You will be melted down for General Grievous's war machine.
The safe was stuck in the garbage hold along with other scrap metal. With scrap metal blocking the doors, Padme and R2 were unable to escape. Anakin saved Padme and the droids just before the cargo was about to be melted down. After taking down the security droids in the area, they went in search for a new ship. Sneaking across corridors, they realized this was a cargo frigate on its way back to Geonosis to refill supplies. After a long search, the crew found a separatist shuttle hangar filled with dozens of shuttles. Anakin, who had a vision that Obi-Wan will be captured on Geonosis, decided to stay on the frigate to rescue and let Padme return back to Coruscant. Padme refused to leave Anakin behind. Anakin used the Force to close the doors, lift the ship manually up, and threw the ship into space. He used up a lot of his strength and tapped a lot of the dark side abilities. Anakin warned R2 on the comlink to shut itself down and C-3PO off, and do not turn on the ship until the frigate left, otherwise they could be tracked. Anakin then surrenders to the battle droids, who calculate the possibility he could be a useful bargaining chip, since they thought he is a commander of Naboo Royal Fleet based on what he was wearing. After the frigate went to hyperspace and the rest of the flagships departed the area, Padme turned on R2 and C-3PO. She then saw Obi-Wan's message. Obi-Wan's message said he located the Sith Lords, Maul and Ventress, all of the separatist leaders, and discovered every secret locations of droid armies scattered across the galaxy. Geonosis should be the separatist capital. Obi-Wan was able to identify the bounty hunter. Apparently, the bounty hunter was the one who was providing training and his DNA for the stormtrooper clones. Reason that Boba Fett helped the separatists because Maul promised that Boba Fett could live an immortal life. That's why Boba Fett switched sides. Before he could finish his report,
Wait.